He reacts, she reacts. Only I have 411 reacts. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? Welcome and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to another Angry Reacts. I haven't done an Angry Reacts in a long time. Most of the time, like, it's kind of hard for me to keep up with the mess because like I work at night, and then like I'm trying to keep my channel going with like my story times and my vlogging. So it's kind of hard for me to keep up with the mess. So most of the time, I'm watching my holy grail of the ladies for me to be informed of the mess. Like, I don't really react to it anymore. I just watch it and keep me informed. Yeah. Yeah. And as you see, as you have, if you are a YouTuber, if you in these YouTube streets, you have paid attention, and we was waiting on, knew it was coming, the clashing of bondyblue and Tasha K. She knew it was coming. People had warned her, but she knew it was coming. And if you watch Bondi, like, Bondi is very straightforward. She's unapologetic when it comes down to her opinion and how she feels, right? So that's one thing what I love about YouTube is, don't get me wrong, it's so many algorithms which I wish I was a part of because the views is looking crazy, but there are so many algorithms, there are so many people that you do not know, and then sometimes there are people that you do know. Now, I didn't know anything about Bondi until she came on Tasha K's platform. I appreciate you, Tasha. Thank you for, for introducing me to Bondi, because I didn't know Bondi was over here doing her the thizzle. You know what I'm saying? So one thing what I love about YouTube is there is a plethora of different platforms that you can choose from. And even though all of these ladies do commentary and do reactions, they all do it in their own different way. Now, I don't remember how I found lovelyti, but I absolutely love her. Lovelty's family is called the Tea Sippers. Lovelyti gives you a broad horizon of celebrity news, white people news, um, politics, keeping you informed, and also deep diving. And for those who are like esoterical, got the spidey senses type situation, spiritual meaning, she dives into that as well. I absolutely love that, but please don't get her twisted. There are times that she gonna check you. She gonna check you, and she gonna let you know, please. I absolutely love that. I love that she has a broad surrounding of how she does her commentary. I love her. I do. And then I go into I dive into Nick at night. Most of the time, Nick at night comes on at night, and her family is the night owls. I'm a night owl too. I'm a tea sipper, and I'm a night owl. So with Nick at night, Nick does journalism. Like, she beat the streets when it comes down to her feet, getting you the exclusive. She's in the courtroom, she's getting interviews, she's on CNN. Like, Nick is multifaceted every place, you know what I'm saying? And I absolutely love that for her. But she's also, how would I describe her? A mom first and a bad bitch right after, you know what I'm saying? And then she also has, like, I can be hood with it, but I'm gonna give you like a moral compass, you know what I'm saying? So she gives you also a broad surrounding when it comes down to the mess. She's gonna report, but she's gonna tell you, like, this is stupid, this is dumb, you shouldn't be doing this, etc., etc. That's Nick at night. Then here comes Bondi, and I'm a Bond too. Bondi, Bondi just straightforward, giving you, decentering you. While there are times where there are things that I do not agree with Bondi, I do not agree with her, but what I love about it is, and what I love about her, even if I don't agree, she gives me something to think about. Even if I don't agree with what she's saying, she gives me something to think about and to expand my horizon when it comes down to whatever we're talking about. I absolutely love that. I love the fact that she can give you her opinion, because sometimes I'll be like, girl, you're kind of going out the deep end. But when she explains certain things, especially when it comes down to decentering men, and here's the thing, because I get beat up because people think I hate marriage. I don't. I think there are great partnerships. I think you can have a great relationship with your partner, but I think that the way that y'all push marriage on people, and then if you are married, how you try to belittle women who are not married. And as I tell my followers, even in my story times, my grandmother was married for 50 years, and she was the one who's pushing that do not put everything in the man. Make sure you get schooled. Make sure you are taking care of yourself. Make sure it's about you first before you put your all, your everything into this man thing. Marriage is not everything that they making it cracked up to be. And she was right. My grandmother was a maid. She did not finish school. She had to drop out at seventh grade in order to work and help the family with ends meet. So when y'all be, oh, it was so long ago. It wasn't. It wasn't. It wasn't long ago. It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't. And so even my mom was married twice, and she was like, don't put everything, don't put everything into a man. It's not all what it's cracked up to be. Marriage is work. Now, don't get me wrong. They did say if you do get married, make sure you like the person. Make sure they like you too. You know what I'm saying? Like it, and that's what I love about Bondi. Bondi is married, but she also lets you know, like, the constructs of how the economy, the government, your spiritual, she wraps it all into one and explain it to you of how we were groomed to do and to have certain things like fall into place. And in all actuality, that ain't even what it's all cracked up to be. But anyway, I was introduced to Bonnie through Tasha K. I used to be a wino. I used to be a wino. And I didn't leave the wine cellar and put the glasses down when this happened. I had stopped being a wino way before then. I stopped being a wino right after the election, because I sat and I listened to her reasonings of if she voted and how she repeatedly said that Kamala didn't have a plan, and that wasn't true. That wasn't true. Everything that lady said was going to happen has happened. When she said what she wanted to do as far as restoring rights for women, making it easier for the middle class, and the reason why I voted for Kamala before Kamala became vice president and was running for president, Kamala was a lawyer. And during her times with the lawyer, I went to Everest. And all those schools that followed under Everest Institute, Kamala sued them. So my student loans got removed because of all the nasty dealings and all the stuff that the school was doing behind the scenes. And Kamala fought for all those people. So everybody who went to those schools under that umbrella of Corinthian College, baby, that money got removed. Come on, Kamala. We did it. We did it, Joe. Baby, I was excited. I was like, okay, Kamala. Like, she was for the people. Like, she would hustle and do her thing for the people when she came down, when she was a lawyer and whatever. And so when y'all was putting that stuff out, I was like, oh, she put all black men in jail. Now, the people she was putting in jail, when you went and read their charges, that's where they needed to be. I'm just saying, she wasn't going around and picking up people off the street and be like, you go to jail, you go to jail, you go to jail. No. They were doing things to be put in jail. That's where they need to be. So a lot of y'all, when y'all be like, free him, free him. First of all, what did he do? Right. Before we talk about free him. Exactly. Anyway, so I was listening to how she was talking about Kamala. And I was like, yeah, okay, girl. Like, you kind of ticking me off because she was just dragging her. You keep saying you for black women, you love black women, you keep dragging this black woman. And then when it came down to Meg the Stallion, it was like you kept trying to find any reason in any way to dog that girl and repeatedly say that she was lying on Lucky Charm. And I'm a short girl. I'm a short girl, but you kept saying the male McNugget over here, you kept defending him and you kept saying that that girl was lying. And so I waited after his after his last appeal, the one with this, this Caucasian lawyer who was from Florida, and she was, oh, we're gonna get him out. He was just, and I was like, girl, yeah, you just trying to get your stuff out there, and you trying to get new clients. You trying to get new clients because y'all was listening to the trial. How could y'all not? Y'all heard the pew pews. How? If you follow any and everybody who was covering, I follow Neek. Neek was in there. Neek was like, I was I was biased until I went in and I was like, oh nah, he did it. And I was listening. I was listening to everybody. I was listening. In this last appeal, that man said she had enough time to move out of the way before I pew pewed. You admitted to pew pewing that girl. And I was waiting for Tasha K because she was like, I'm fair. She always says she fair. And I was waiting for her to read that part and be like, you know what? I was wrong all this time because he actually admitted to pew pewing that girl. So he said she had enough time to move before I pew pewed. Before I pew pewed, she had enough time to move. So you admitted it in the appeal. The recent one. The most recent one that was denied. And I was waiting for her to put that out there, and you didn't. You put Milagro on your platform. And I'm not knocking who you put on your platform because you feel like everybody deserves a chance, and that's cool. I ain't knocking it. But you put somebody up there who is being paid allegedly to push out negative stuff about Meg the Stallion, even though like they don't prove it because girl, you gotta pay her. It was like, girl, I was waiting for you to put out the other side too. That it was like, okay, well, this true. Like y'all, I was wrong. I was wrong because I've seen you do that before when you was like, hey, I was proven wrong. Let me come and let me publicly apologize. And it's like, girl, that's in the appeal. How you missed that? And it's like, do you know about that? Or you know about that and I deliberately don't want to say nothing because it goes against me, dragging her. Because I feel like there's certain women, you be like, you for black women, you for black women. I think you for black women as long as they're beneath you. Like they're not doing better than you. Because I feel like the women that you constantly drag intimidate you. And I know you'll be like, don't no woman intimidate me. But what you giving off here recently, before I unsubscribed, that's what it was given to me. And that's my opinion. That's my opinion. That's what it was given to me. And so I put down my wine glass and walked out of the wine cellar because I was like, yeah, this is no longer beneficial to me. Even when like the stuff went down with you and Cardi, and I was like, because I like both of y'all. I like both of y'all because both of y'all are uniquely yourselves. Like you don't apologize for being yourself, which is what I like. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, dang, Cardi, you giving her promo because now she all over worldwide. It was like, yeah, she was in YouTube streets, but now she on CNN, CBS, NBC. Like she everywhere. She being reported all over the news. So you kind of giving her a promo with this. But then it was on the other hand, it was like, well, damn, girl, how you get her information? How her friend get that information? Because girl, that's a HIPAA violation. Like how you get that? And who gave it to you? Because that's a HIPAA violation. What doctor's office do she need to sue? Because that's a HIPAA violation. So it was like, okay, yeah, like both of y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like I like Cardi. Even here recently, it was like Cardi. With oh boy, girl, you was just supposed to and go on and go on. But what I also like about you is it's like I'm in this now because I like him, especially when you was like, hey Bob, hey Baba, this is Shirley. I didn't think that was cute, but I understood it because it's like when you like him, and that's just most women. It's like the women is, he know where home is, or girl, I like him, and I know what this is, and I know it's toxic, but I like him. I get it. I got that side, and the fact that you were open enough and bold enough to be honest in your feelings about the situation that you were in currently. We wanted you to have fun. But also on the other side, as a woman, I understand because it's like I like him. Cause baby, I done been in a situation, a time or two, where it's like I like him though. I like him, so I'm gonna deal with this. I ain't gonna nobody woman to woman, but you know what I'm saying. But it's like I'm gonna indulge until I get tired, you know. So I understood it, which is what I liked about both women. They were open and honestly and authentically themselves. So I absolutely love that about both of them. But then, as I said, once here recently, I got to the point where I felt like Tashak was just dragging black women. You were just dragging black women. It was like because negative gets more numbers, so it's like I need the numbers, so I'm gonna feed into this. That's what I felt like. And so I was like, I don't think this is no longer something I want to feed into anymore. Because she was part of my holy grail, but she's no longer. So I just have the other ladies. Yeah, to feed me the mess. And so watching Bondi had always, like, as I stated, been herself. I was introduced to her on Tasha K's platform, and I was like, I like her. I did. I vibed. I liked her. I liked that she was authentically herself. She didn't switch it up. And even if you didn't agree, she was like, yeah, that's okay, but this my opinion. And I like that. I like that. I like people who like it's like no matter what you think of me, boo. This is my opinion. This is what I stand on. We can agree to disagree. We don't have to argue. We ain't gotta fight. We ain't gotta tussle. But this is who I am. Either you take it or leave it. And I like that. I like that. Like I said, I may not agree with everything that Bondi says, but I love the fact that she gives me something else to think about and expound on and be like, well, God, that's another way to look at it. I like that. I love the intellectual girlies. I do. So, when this was happening, because Tasha K has a stubborn reputation, you're the common denominator when it comes down to beef. You're the common denominator when it comes down to girl, watch your back, cause she gonna flip a script on you. You are the common denominator when it comes down to that. Like it's quite a few people will be like, when your name is mentioned, it ain't a good look, it ain't a good vibe. It's like your character precedes you, boo. And so people was telling Bondi, like Bondi, when she stopped showing up on Tasha K's platform, Bondi was like, people was like, she was like, I'm good. Me, it ain't nothing, ain't no beef. It ain't no beef with me. I'm good. Like keeping it cute. And so when this happened, because it looked like an opportunity, because even according to Bondi's clip, and Bondi said, I was waiting for it because I know you was looking for something and you feel it. And I tell this all the time. I say this all the time in my story times. You can feel when somebody don't like you. You can feel the shift. Even if it's somebody who your family member, somebody you've been cool with for a long time, you feel the shift. You waiting on it. You waiting on it. You ain't really I was gonna say you ain't gotta be an empath. You ain't gotta have gifts, but if you pay attention, you feel it. You feel the shift when it's like the come on, not you. And then when you are secure in who you are, baby, I'm gonna laugh at you. So yesterday I was laughing with Bondi because she was laughing. It's hard for her to even get the words out because she was laughing. Because she was like, girl, I knew you was coming. You was waiting on something. You was waiting on something. And to me, that felt like the clip that you used and then the things that you were saying, you was waiting on an opportunity. And then I also feel like Bondi intimidates you. And before I had removed myself out of the wine cellar, people were continually asking about Bondi when she had stopped being on the platform. And when you responded to the comments, your tone changed from the previous commentary that you were doing. Your tone went to, she's fine. She'll be fine. And I said, well, girl, that tone was a little ocular above from what you was just doing. You had a little attitude with it. And it didn't come off across like, it ain't no beef. Bondi was giving, it ain't no beef over here. But you was giving, she wasn't supposed to surpass me. She wasn't supposed to be better than me. Even though Bondi was who she was before she came on your platform. She had already had 100K before she came on your platform. So it's not like you made her. You just introduced her to a different algorithm, which that's what, networking is. That's what shout out for shout out is. That's what paying for promo is. But you paid her, you contracted her to come to your platform. So you introduced her to a new algorithm and you introduced her to new people, even though she had already built her, she already had bonbons. She had already built her platform. She had already put in the work. So I think you expected her to change and to be somebody who she's not, which is a little intimidating. Sometimes people get intimidated when you can't change somebody's mind and opinions and conform. Because Bondi speak a lot about being male centered. And a lot of times I read in them comments under your platform with the one on where Bondi's male centered. That let me know y'all really don't watch Bondi because Bondi be the main one who be like, even though she got a man. And that's what I love about her. That's what I love about her. Two things can be true at the same time. I can love my man. This can be dope over here. And I can still tell you the, you feel me? Yeah, I just think that I love the opposite. I love the fact that, especially with lovelyti, that she said she looked for like the small YouTubers because she was like, it's not that the big YouTubers are not good, but she's like, she feels like the smaller YouTubers are more authentic because it's like you don't. Yeah, it's not like the big YouTubers are not doing anything, but it's like the small YouTubers, like they don't have a niche. Like you're just being authentically yourself. You don't have nothing to, you know what I'm saying? At this point, like it's like I'm not having to prove myself to keep the numbers up. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're building. And so the people who are there genuinely like you for you. And I like the fact that she goes with her platform being as huge as it is, that she go and look at small YouTubers. I thought that was like, I love people who are the same people on and off the internet. And she said that she was like, I don't do like security and all that other stuff. Like I'm me. I come and enjoy myself, have a good time. Like I said, like she's multifaceted as well. Like it's so many areas she can hit and still just be authentically herself. I absolutely love that. I love that. So yeah, so that was literally my take, my react on the Holy Grail. That's my Holy Grail of my YouTubers in these YouTube streets. That's not the only people that I watch, but those are my ladies where I look for like commentary information, white people news, etc. That I pay attention to and I love to hear like their take on certain things. Now let's get into T.I. and 50 Cent. This whole issue started with something about verses. Baby, that's what y'all doing. That's what y'all doing. Y'all going back and forth, rapping, beefing, trolling. Y'all versus T.I. versus 50 Cent. 50 Cent versus T.I. and his whole family. The family hustle at this point. But they're the same person. They're the same person. T.I., I mean, okay, yeah, I get that you protecting your wife or defending your wife, as you should, but Did that comedian ever get her money when you called her a bitch? Cause you was like, if you pull out, show me the video of me calling you a bitch after you went and snatched that microphone out of her hand and rolled up on her on stage. Did you give her money? Cause she showed the video. Like I said, they're the same person. Anyway, last thing I want to touch on is Jada West. Jada West is a young girl from Georgia. Jada was being bullied, according to her mom. They had just moved into a new neighborhood. And the young girl, she had basically stood up to her bully and was like, if you get off this bus or if you walking up on me about fighting, I'm gonna beat your ass. Y'all, Jada turned that girl everywhere but loose. Bop the Mario coins out that girl. She stood up to her bully. Unfortunately, Jada, after the fight, Jada heart stopped. She was in the hospital for a few days, and then unfortunately she passed away. I believe that the bullying and the fight didn't have anything to do with, unfortunately, untimely Jada succumbing to her heart stopping. I truly believe that Jada had an underlying health condition that the doctors didn't catch and her family didn't know about. Me, I didn't know I had severe asthma until I had a asthma attack and almost died at basketball practice. I didn't know I had heart disease until I went and was doing, it was requirements for work. I was literally working for a clinic and it was we had to fill out like this worksheet, and they did blood work and did like certain requirements that we had to do, like blood pressure, blood work, and all this stuff. And my blood work came back and it was like, we need you to go see a heart specialist. We need you to go see a cardiologist. Bronny James. Remember when he passed out on the court, underlying health condition that they had no idea about? The young man, I forgot his name, who passed out, had a heart attack on the field, on the football field. Underlying health condition. I truly believe that Jada didn't know and her family didn't know that she had an underlying health condition. Do I condone bullying? Absolutely not. And I actually commend Jada for telling her family that she was being bullied, telling the teacher she was being bullied, and actually standing up to her bully. Because if Jada was still here, I truly believe that bully would have left her alone. Because as I said, beat the mark, turn her every which way with looks. And she warned you, she was gonna beat you. She was gonna beat you. She was gonna beat you, and she beat you. Beat you out your wig. But unfortunately, I don't believe that the bullying in the fight was something that unfortunately made Jada pass away. I really truly believe that Jada had an underlying health condition, and this is my opinion. This hasn't been proven, but it also doesn't negate the fact that bullying is not okay. And the fact that Jada had to defend herself for somebody who she had no idea even knew the reason of why that little girl didn't like her. And then you can hear a parent, I don't know if that was the other little girl parent, but you hear an adult saying, hey, I told you to stop. And she was talking to Jada and she was like, I come knock on doors. So do you come knock on doors because your daughter got beat up? Or do you come knock on doors to talk about your daughter being a bully? Because your daughter was the aggressor until Jada humbled her. So, do I condone bullying? Absolutely not. But unfortunately, I truly believe that Jada had an underlying health condition and she unfortunately succumbed to it. Yeah. So, talk to your kids about being bullies because when you're not around, your kids are totally different people. And don't act like you didn't do it when your mama was when you went to school. You was cussing and doing whatever you want to do when your mama wasn't around. When they told you they was gonna call your mama, you turned back into who you was when your mama around. Right. So anyway, talk to your children about bullying. Talk to the adults about bullying, because some of y'all bully too. Some of y'all bully too. Some of y'all need y'all. Anyway, yes, talk to your kids about bullying and tell them how, like, yeah, how so that's not cool. How that's not the vibe. Tell them not to do that. Tell them not to do that. But I also wanted to honor Jada. Kudos to Jada for standing up for herself, but unfortunately she passed away. So I want to send my prayers and condolences to her family. So, y'all, that is it. That is it for Angel Reacts. I wanted to come in and touch on my holy grail of my commentators because, like, it literally ties into everything. Everything ties in. The back and forth with the commentators, even though Bonnie don't really do back and forth, the back and forth with T.I., which is it kind of started from verses and it was some issues with verses, but y'all doing verses because everybody dropping diss tracks. Y'all doing verses. Y'all just not on the stage. And Jada facing her bully, but unfortunately succumbed to I believe, in my opinion, an underlying health condition. But I also commend Jada, as I said, for standing up to her bully. Again, parents, talk to your kids about bullying. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Let me see. How can I push? Oh, that's okay. Relax, take your time. I don't want that mic on me. I'm trying to think. Did that pick up well? Because I don't want to hold the mic. Let me see. Yeah, I don't want to hold the mic. I can put it on me. I can put it on me. I don't want it on me. It should pick me up. Pick me up. Pick me up. The mic should pick me up. Anyway, let's get into it.